Well, welcome to episode 30. This one might get weird. So if you remember in the last couple of videos, I've been trying to get the four-wheel drive light off. We scanned it. We figured out it was the lock solenoid circuit. So then I came home, I found the wires for the lock solenoid circuit, and one of them was broken. It's like, awesome. Found it. Fixed that, put it back in. The service four-wheel drive light was still on, but I thought, no big deal, you'd probably just have to clear it. So I'm right now on my way back from visiting my friend's shop, and he would clear the light, and he could hear it click off, and see it click off, and then it would turn right back on, and it's giving the same fault. Which means, apparently, I have two f***ing breaks in the same god wire. I don't even know what to say. How do you break a wire twice? So I'm dealing with that. But that little service four-wheel drive light on the dash is the least of my damn worries right now. Because remember in the last video I installed that alternator to try to solve the thing where the last time I went and visited my friend at his shop, it wouldn't start when I went to leave. So I did some testing and determined it's got to be the alternator. That's the only thing that isn't new. Well, it's not the alternator, because I just got out there, shut it off, and it wouldn't start. It was crazy because I watched the voltage gauge on the dash the whole way there. It was right at 14. I even did an alternator test with my scan tool when I got there, and it said it was good within spec. As soon as I turned the car off and tried to start it, the gauge on the dash you could watch it just drop to about 9 volts over the course of 30 seconds. So it's sure acting like the battery is just dead. And I got the absolute best one they had. They're like, okay, I assume you want the cheap one, right? Like everyone else. It's like, hell no, this is gonna be my winter tank. I want the best battery you got. So it should be still under warranty. But instead of going straight there to get the battery warranted, I want to go home and determine for sure it is the battery and it isn't a battery connection. So I'm going to remove the battery from the car completely, put it on a charger, let it sit for a while and do a load test on it. Because I don't want to get to the auto parts store, say my battery sucks, they hook it up and they're like, no, it's fine. And then it won't start again, and it was like a cable all along. So I have no reason to think a cable would be a problem, but we've been over this before. The thing's 25 years old, so I'm just having new problems now. So interesting thing 3 to start off episode 30. I have a guy who wants to come look at it tomorrow and maybe buy it. So I'm going to have to reach out to him. Either you should have come 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or you should come next week. Because I can get it started and get him home, but once he gets there and shuts it off, it's probably not going to start again. And maybe there's some used car dealerships that would be perfectly fine with that arrangement as long as they got their money in cash or got their check cashed quick enough, but that's not me. I don't want to sell somebody something without knowing fully what they're dealing with. I just thought I'd give you an update on my way home. I feel pretty confident it will get home, but once I shut it off, it's going to be stuck there. So that's the update. We will pick this up probably when I get home. Well, welcome back to the house. Remember how much I complained all summer about how hot it was? It's fall now. We'll take a look at this battery. So I got home and immediately pulled it out of the car and just put the charger on it. And it's been sitting here at 3 amps for a while. And of course, on the way home, I was watching the battery gauge. I was at 14 volts the whole way. So a brand new alternator on the interstate for 10 minutes should do a really good job of charging a battery. This needle doesn't point to the right spot, but there's the actual voltage. Look at this. That's not great. So I think I might have a bad battery, which is actually kind of a relief because it's under warranty. I can go get a new one. It shouldn't cost me anything. And I don't have to go looking for another problem. I still don't know if that dude's gonna want to come tomorrow and look at it, but I can get up in the morning and go exchange that battery. At least I got it locally, so I guess we'll bring it back tomorrow. That concludes Act 1 of episode 30. Well, this Blazer never stops finding new ways to f me over. As you see, that is a new battery. I got the one that was in there at AutoZone. I got the best one they had. It was $200. That was 3 years and 7 months ago. The warranty was up in 3 years, and they no longer do a prorated warranty. So I had to buy a brand new battery. I did not get the best one this time. Sorry, whoever buys this. So I'm gonna slap that in right now. I got a guy coming to look at it any minute. So we'll be back and either tell you how that went or to wave bye-bye to the Blazer. Well, it was not meant to be, which doesn't surprise me. On a good day, I could see it looking a little rough to a prospective buyer, but today is not a good day. Put the new battery in and it still didn't want to start. So I put a charger on it and then it started fine. I think I might have a bad connection on a battery cable or something. So I'm gonna probably dig into that a little bit today. I got some free time. So I'm gonna go eat some lunch. We'll bring you back. Hey, welcome back. It's been a few days since the last clip where I did not sell the Blazer. It's actually just talking to somebody else who was maybe interested. Didn't look like they were into it enough to show up with money. Let me turn you around and show you the stupidity I have going on tonight. So out of abundance of caution, I pulled out my battery cables. This is all there is to it, positive, negative. I don't know if they're bad, but I did notice, I don't know if you can hear this, but some of these are like crunchy. So that kind of makes me nervous that they've got some sort of corrosion in there. And like I mentioned in an earlier clip, it was sort of showing symptoms of the battery cables not being great as well as the battery. So I decided, what the hell, I'll replace them. I have all this number 8 and number 4 wire, and I have a bunch of these. So I was just gonna make new ones. Well, I started totaling up how much does a pair of these cost. There's a bigger, and I don't have one of those. This one's kind of weird. I don't think I need to get the same thing, but then I probably want to put some heat protection on it from the exhaust manifold. So anyway, I started adding that up, and it was starting to get pretty close to Rock Auto's price for 2 OEM AC Delco battery cables. So since we all know how much I love spending money on a vehicle I'm trying to sell, I just ordered a set of battery cables, so those will be here later.
I declare bankruptcy!
But while I have those out, the truck cannot go anywhere. I took the week off just to do some fixing around the house. Since the Blazer's around the house, I'm gonna do something very stupid right now. I'm gonna excavate this and maybe do maybe not a proper repair, but more proper than this. You can see the craftsmanship is impeccable. That's the thing I've learned is when I was buying this truck, I wanted a solid frame. I wanted all the options. I didn't want rust holes in the floor. This has a solid floor, solid frame, some ugly shit on the body going on, and I don't really care about that. Problem is, people looking to spend $4,000 or $5,000 for a Blazer expect the body to be in good shape, and it's not. So I used to work at a body shop. I know how to do basic body repair, so I'm just gonna do it. Shouldn't be that hard, right? I've got all the equipment. So I'm gonna set you up on time lapse, and we're gonna dig out that quarter panel and see what ugliness awaits. It's almost 6:45 in the evening. Seems like a perfect time to start a new project. Well, there's my quarter panel. There's some factory paint. I thought that was a rock, but that's apparently mud. Here was how they fabricated that quarter panel. Some wire mesh and some Bondo, I guess. I honestly thought it was all expanding foam, just based on this texture, but I think that's just, they put a really thick layer of asphalt rubberized undercoating on there, and I think that's all that is. Not only is there not a quarter panel, there's not an inner quarter panel. And surprising no one, there's a mouse nest in here. I'll decide if I want to fab this or buy it. You can get these quarter panels, they're not very expensive, but they're going to stop right here anyway, so I would like to bring it around. So I'll probably fab it, but we'll see. I'm going to sleep on it, come back to this tomorrow, clean up this mess. Hey everyone, it's the next day. As per usual, it's like 4 in the afternoon and I'm starting a project. But I'm gonna fix that rocker panel. This is not going to be the kind of body work you would see on a show car or a restoration. This is not what people pay for when they take their car to a professional shop. This just needs to be better than what was there before. So I don't need anybody telling me that I'm doing something wrong in the comments. I know the right way to do it. I'm intentionally not going that whole route because I would have to disassemble a whole bunch of stuff, order some repair panels. It would be a whole thing. Considering what was in there before was Bondo and chicken wire, it's gonna look a million times better than that when I'm done. So I'm just gonna put you on time lap and maybe you'll learn some little tricks to bust out some cheap and quick body work. I got all the supplies here. I got metal. I got some cold galvanizing spray. Doesn't say weld through, but I think it'll be good enough. Some body filler, some black lacquer to put on top of it when I'm done. You wouldn't use that for your car unless your car was also black. Also, don't use 0.035 flux core wire. That's what I'm using because that's all I have from doing work on the 53 Chevy frame. I'm hoping I can manage to make some welds that are structural. They don't have to be pretty. So don't do that. But other than that, I think you should be able to follow my lead and do passable body work for 50 bucks. Well, it's about 7 o'clock, so that was a good 3-hour run. Here's where I ended up. The welds look horrible. Like I said earlier, you do not want to use flux core for sheet metal, but I don't have a gas tank for this welder, so that's all I got. It's solid. Got rivets along the bottom, rivets hiding behind the fender flare. I painted the back sides, as you saw, to hopefully keep rust down. So yeah, tomorrow I'll throw some Bondo on it, sand it, paint it. It'll look 1,000 times better than it did when I started. Hey, welcome back. I'm not gonna blab, I'm just gonna get into it. Gonna start putting some Bondo on there and see if I can get this side wrapped up. Let's get into it. There you go, that's basically it. That's why I like lacquer. You can get a pretty good finish without 2K mixture where you have the hardener. It's definitely good enough for this vehicle. So I just checked, it's still a little tacky. I'm just gonna go eat something, come back out, take off all the plastic, reattach fender flare, put the wheel on, and I'm gonna call this side done and bring it back later when I have it put back together. Well, there it is. It's not perfect, but I said from the beginning it wasn't gonna be perfect. Maybe after I wash it and drive it a little bit, it won't stick out as extra shiny. Just not bad for, what, like 40 bucks? And my battery cables just showed up, so now I'm gonna do that. Here's the latest Rock Auto haul. Finally bought one of these instead of the 3D printed one I had. Negative? Yeah, positive. new cables are in. That means I have within the last year starter, alternator, battery, and cables. If this thing doesn't start, I don't even know. Guess I'll put the charger on it. I would hope a new battery could hold a charge sitting in the garage for 2 days. And that jumped all the way up. It's coming down now, but that was up at 8 for a minute. And I didn't mention earlier, but the battery tray and the big 175 amp fuse holder bracket, they were all kind of rusty and gross looking, so I cleaned them up, painted them off camera. So this area looks all nice in my car that won't start. I finally have a hold down. I guess I'm just gonna leave this for a while and come back and see what happens. Well, it's the following morning. Just came out, I started it twice in a row, no problem. So I'm gonna say it was the battery and the cables. And since when I put the new battery in, the cables were still the old cables, it probably wasn't charging properly for that little bit I drove it with the new battery, so it wasn't charging. So I was having issues yesterday because it was just a dead battery. So after a few starts and some charging, it seems to be working fine now. So I don't know how I have such bad luck, but whoever buys this, everything's gonna be new. So we'll see. I do keep having people reaching out and asking, but mostly people are like just wanting to trade for things. And like I'm trying to get a down payment on a newer vehicle. Had some pretty interesting offers, like a old Ford tractor, which looks cool, but I don't need a tractor. Guns, which are not my thing. Eventually we'll find somebody who wants to trade cash for a vehicle. I'm gonna cut this one off. This video's gone on long enough. In the next video, I'm gonna dig into figuring out why the four-wheel drive light is still on, or we'll just speed a wave bye-bye to it if somebody buys it. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.